Hey, 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 hey. A great day. I had an interesting day, man. Just a regular old Tuesday in America. The weather was pretty nice. I got to watch my daughter run cross country. Might be the last chance I get to watch her run this year, so I definitely enjoyed my trip over there. Just your kind of all-American evening. We made our dinner. I pushed myself back and forth on the porch swing, just really low key. And then prepared to come on over here to go live for this open mic night, Tuesday nights. Now we missed last Tuesday night. That was because I had something going on. My wife was out of town. My wife's a photographer, and she was in a big conference that she does every year. That this year's was in Lexington, Kentucky. And she was out of town. My little one needed me, so I had to call it. So I stayed home and did not come in to do open mic last week, but doing open mic now and trying to enjoy it. I need to go over here and tweet this out that we're live. Let me go try to grab this link. Make sure, let's go Chief Pigskin. It's kind of tricky right now because I'm trying to also load a video at the same time. So let's see if I can do this. Let's see, share, Twitter. There we go. Coach's open mic. We are officially live. We are officially live. Come say hi. So how we run open mic night is I'll put the Zoom ID here in our chat, and you can hop into the waiting room. We'll let you guys in. You get like 5 minutes. We'd love for you guys to bring up a topic or whatever you want to talk about. If you don't have anything to talk about, think of something fun to talk about. Football related, coaching related, life related. And we'll just shoot the breeze for 5 minutes or so. Everybody will kind of get their 5 minutes. We'll say goodbye. And once you get off, we'll bring another guy on and meet someone else. So we'd love to meet new people, and that has definitely been a push of ours lately. As I do all these different nights, right? Like Air Raid night and Wing T night. Just really trying hard to meet new people. I really want to try to continue to get new guys in and just hear from more and more guys. I think that's what it's all about. I want more and more guys to have a voice. So if you happen to be here for the first time tonight, don't be shy and don't be thinking, well, other guys get on. Don't be afraid to get on for open mic night. So welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome, Larry, Martin, and Ramiro. Welcome. It's so good to see you guys. Thank you for being here. As I said, I kind of had my all-American day. I was a little bored at work. I'm not going to lie. A little bored. It was just such your normal school day. And I can't complain too much. You know, there are worse things than a normal school day, but a little boring. Got to see a cross-country meet and then kind of rest a little bit, got some dinner, and headed on in here to the office to go live after we go live, after open mic. And we'll try to keep open mic open for as long as guys have things to talk about or want to talk. But after open mic, we'll shut it down. And then at 9 p.m., 9:15 technically, my buddies Anthony Gonzalez and Dylan Mack come on Chief Pigskin channel here with their show, Coach to Coach. And they went for almost 2 hours in their video where they collect questions and ideas from coaches around the nation, and they begin to answer them. They sit there, just two head coaches themselves, one out of Chicagoland, one out of California, and they just take these questions from around the world and start answering. So let's get this started, man. It's open mic night. I'm gonna grab, what's up, Coach Freeman? I'm gonna grab the link over here. How did I do this last time? Copy that link, come over here and paste it in. If anybody wants to hop in for open mic, please be our guest. You do not have to be some superstar to get on. You do not have to be well-versed in speaking or well-versed in anything to hop on. You just have to be willing and able to talk and share. I hope everybody's doing well today. You know, somebody was talking as I was getting ready to upload Coach's videos, the Coach to Coach video that goes on at 9:15. I kind of had their video playing in the background while it was loading, just to kind of get an idea of what they were talking about. And, you know, they started talking about, like, it's getting to that point of the season where you're either gearing up for the playoffs or you kind of switch gears. It's been a bad year. It's been a tough year. And you just kind of switch gears and you start thinking about, how do I make this the best possible experience for my seniors as they're going out? And I ended with 2 of those seasons in my last 2 years as a head coach. It was just, I have to make this very enjoyable. One of my favorite things to make it enjoyable, we might work on it 10 minutes a day on Tuesday, 10 minutes a day on Wednesday for our last 1 to 2 weeks, is we would bring in our heavy weapon package. Heavy weapon. And heavy weapon was our package where our linemen got to run the ball. And if our season was over and we knew it, or maybe we're good and we know it, and we can squeeze in a heavy weapon play here or there. As the season ends, we want to get heavy weapon ready. And all that is it's double tight, although we go unbalanced one side. We bring 2 linemen into the backfield, and we're like in 2 fullbacks, right? So you got your line, 2 fullbacks just offset of the quarterback, right up like sniffers, double sniffers, hand on the ground. And then 1 lineman tailback, and he's sitting back there at about 5-6 yards. And all we do is everybody down blocks left, and my 2 sniffer backs both kick out right. So the first guy kicks out, second guy leads up the hole. I mean, the most simple possible schematic you could think of. And we turn around and we hand it off to our big dude, and we let him run. And the kids love it. I can't recommend heavy weapon enough to anyone. As your season is coming to an end, let's say you're out of contention, it's a great thing to use for senior night. If you are still in contention and your team is really good, the best way to use it is get heavy weapon ready, because the other thing it does is it helps keep practice light. When you're getting to your end of your season, weeks 8, 9, 10, 11, man, practice is a grind. And the second you bust out heavy weapon, the kids, it lightens things up. Even if you work on it for 5 minutes, give everybody 1 carry. It lightens things up. It's fun. It's funny. They look kind of funny carrying the ball. It's what it is. They look kind of funny. And everybody gets a kick out of it. So if you are good, you got to run like 1, 2 heavy weapon plays tops before you get out of it. Come back to it later. Because if you stay in heavy weapon, because here's the thing, the first play or 2, it always pops a little bit. I mean, you know, once in a while they'll get a guy in and cut your big dude down at the legs, and everybody roars and has a blast with it. But once in a while it kind of pops. And when it pops at all, I mean 5 yards, 7, 10, your whole sideline will go crazy, right? And so if you're good and you're winning and you do this, you look like a complete jerk of a coach. So you can't do that. So when we're good and we use the heavy weapon, it's like a play. And we're going to go back into our normal stuff. I don't like the feeling of that other coach thinking we're trying to show them up. We're not. We're trying hard to make sure our seniors know we love them, and that our senior linemen, that we know their job is hard, and we want them to be able to enjoy themselves doing this. So some people are starting to get to that point of the season. Other people, like Coach Freeman just said, hey, this is week 1 for us. They're in week 1. Hello, COVID life. Week 1 for the Minnesota folks. How much I wish we were going to be following closely behind you guys, but we are not. At this point, I think most of Illinois is trying to fight hard for football, just for the idea of going, we need to fight hard for it now to just help assure of getting it in the spring. So again, it is open mic night. Thank you guys so much for joining and for tuning in. If you get here, check in, let us know where you're from. If you'd like to hop on, talk a little football or shoot any type of idea out, or let's say you've been working on a project you want everybody to know about. I've been working on a new podcast. I've been working on a new show. I'm running for mayor of my town, and I want everybody to know. Whatever it is, feel free to hop on. Otherwise, if nobody hops on, you can shoot questions right here in the chat, and I'll get those. I can respond to those. or I'll just sit here and shoot the breeze for 10, 20 minutes. We'll call it a night. And at 9:15, my guys Gonzalez and Mac will be coming on with their Coach to Coach show. Last night I had my Power Hour show and had a great Power Hour show with William Lund out of Roosevelt University. I really enjoyed it because he talked a lot about getting stronger in season. And I think that that's just an essential reminder for all of us to make sure that we're thinking about that, because at the high school level, let's face it, you get kids that don't have an off season, right? I mean, there's no such thing as an off season for a lot of high school athletes. They just play it all. So if you got a kid that plays it all, he has no off season, then when does he get stronger? Right? He's got to have a way to get stronger all the time. And that's what William Lund talked about in our Power Hour last night. It's right here on our Chief Pigskin YouTube channel. I would strongly encourage you guys to check out some Power Hour stuff. That was week 8, talking to certified strength and conditioning coaches about what they do. And I have learned so much from it. 4 weeks to go. And looking forward to it. We got a question coming in. Lucas Freeman, thanks for asking a question. How do you block belly G against the 3-5 stack? So, there's how do I block it, right? But I'm like my own unique little bird. I think all of us are, right? It's like, here's how you, in general, you block it. And then here's how you block it, right? Here's how he blocks it, and here's how he blocks it. Everybody's got their unique little variations. So I'm going to tell you the way I like to block it. And then I'm going to tell you something I picked up just this last weekend from Jeff Boyer. 2 weekends ago, Jeff Boyer at Byron High School. And Byron High School is double tight wing T, but they run a lot of belly and have been to back-to-back state title games. They run a phenomenal program. And I picked up a little wrinkle from him that I really like. So for us, against the 3-5 stack, for the most part, we are down, kick. But we run our belly belly G. Okay, I was going to just say, let me make sure it's belly G. For us in our belly, we really almost exclusively run our belly with rocket motion. We want a strong horizontal stretch, and now we want a belly inside of that, right? And so we're trying hard. It's an inside run play based off of an outside run. We really want that stack backer to overrun it. We need to be, and that's our philosophy, we need to be good enough at rocket that stack cannot wait to, he can't afford to wait around to see if this is belly or rocket. He can't afford it. He has to go to rocket. And that's our goal. Are we good enough at rocket to force that stack to honor rocket? Because we don't want to block that stack. We have no desire to block that stack at all. In fact, what I'd rather do is my guard, my tackle, is going to down block, and he's trying to get under him and go to Mike, and if he can't get to Mike, he'll go to that backside backer. My tight end is going to go down on that D tackle, right? And so he needs to be prepared to get down to that D tackle or D end, whatever you call him, the kid covering that tackle of yours. My tight end needs to get down to that. I really want to take my wing and arc to influence. And I want my guard was just going to pull and try to climb right away. So what you're going to end up with is my guard doesn't know who he's getting, but we rep it a lot. Is that outside linebacker going to come down and squeeze that like a 9 technique, like a really hard-edged outside linebacker? If so, we'll kick him. Is he not? Well, then you're going to fold and lead up and look for that, and then that kick out becomes really easy on that stack backer. Right? And so we want to hug this super tight, and we like to influence with that wing. Now, there are situations and game plans, times of the game where we don't mind down blocking with that guy, like in a load situation where we really just need short yardage. But for the most part, I like belly G as more of an influence play. I want to influence you wide and hit you up the gut. What's up, Jason Eddings? It's open mic night. I've left the link there. If anybody wants to hop on and talk a little bit, feel free to hop on and talk. Otherwise, right now, I'm just answering Lucas Freeman's. We're talking a little belly G. Martin Quiroga says, Coach Freeman, I would go with a tight end down with tackle and tight end. and kick out with the overhang with the guard. So, and that's the thing too. So for us, we want to work hard we want our guard, honestly, to think about climbing, pull and climb more so than pull and kick, because again, we need to, everything's in theory, good enough at rocket that how can you ask that outside linebacker to squeeze belly, right? We need to be good enough at rocket so that you can't. Is if we're not good enough at rocket, then now we have to resort to running belly as a power play, which is down, down, kick, right? And I got to bring my wing back down hard, and my guard's got to pull and kick. I'm just not crazy about belly like that as a base play, where I'm just running it like some sort of power play. In my opinion, it works so much better as a complement to a base play. For us, rocket is the base, belly is the complement. Now, here's what Jeff Boyer does over at Byron, and I liked this. What they're going to end up with on a stack team, and if you're just covering his tackle, they're going to get a double team from that tackle and tight end. They will 100% double team, and the tackle is looking to peel off to his inside gap when he needs it. So they rep that a lot, but by default, he wants a double team there. So you're really creating movement right there. And now this guard is going to pull and fold, right? Well, for them, probably pull and kick like that 9 technique, a wider 9 outside linebacker who's going to be there pretty tight. Because against them, the way they play their stuff, that guy is going to be tight. They're going to take that wing back down to the stack and block him with the stack. I'm not crazy about wing backs blocking down on linebackers. I don't like that matchup. To me, it doesn't seem very winnable. It's hard to win. A wing back down to a linebacker. Again, those linebackers are bad dudes. My wing backs are not my bad blockers. Bad dude blockers, meaning. My wing backs are athletic. They got a lot of wiggle, right? They're scat back types. And that's not the dude I want coming down blocking a linebacker. So for us, we want to be great at rocket and influence and take that wing back. He'll go out and influence too. Try to get you to overrun it. And our biggest bellies, man, boom. A little bit of cutback after that block, after that tight end block. So that's what we end up with. So that's how we do it. That's how they do it out of Byron. Our current team that I'm on right now, we run a lot of belly out of the gun. So we're going to run a lot of belly out of the gun with an H-back. Your standard down kick. Our guard will try to get to that outside linebacker, and then we're going to bring that H-back through, right? So down. This guard's pulling kick in. Now our H-back pauses and climbs through that hole between the down block and the kick. Our H-back is going to climb through that and lead on to inside linebacker. That's how we block belly. Now, we're a gun team, play a lot of tight end with our gun. A lot of belly. Our coach loves belly. So, what's up, Coach Campos? Good to have you. It is open mic night. I've left the link there a couple times. If anybody has anything on their mind or would like to talk, please don't hesitate. Otherwise, shoot me questions in the chat. Be happy to just continue to talk via chat. And when we run out of things to talk about, we'll shut it down. At 9:15, got my guys Gonzalez and Dylan Mack coming on, 2 head coaches, running their show Coach to Coach, where they put out questions during the week and they answer those questions, man. They went for almost 2 hours, so plenty to talk about there. It's a great video to kind of have on in the background and listen, and then all of a sudden they get to a topic that sparks your interest. Come over and give them a listen, give them a thumbs up and a comment. They really appreciate that. So that's my take on belly. In fact, for us with belly, when we were best with it, we would run X over rocket, right? So I'm going to go center, guard, tackle, tight end, wing, X. So it's unbalanced. X over, motion at it, rocket. The very next play, go tackle over. So let my tight end switch places with my tackle, who's my best down blocker. And we'd go motion and belly. Now, at the beginning of the year, we kept going, all right, so we need to sometimes go over and go tackle over and run something else so they don't know we're running belly. That's how we did it at the beginning of the year. And then as the year went on, we started going, I don't think it matters. Like, we were so shocked. We're like, wait, I don't think it matters. I think we could just go tackle over and run belly, and it doesn't matter. It's just too hard to stop. Again, it was our absolute best down blocker, was our guy we would bring over for tackle over. He played left tackle, but when we went tackle over to the right, boom, there he was. In fact, if we would go tackle over left, he would always be the outside tackle, because that's the hardest down block. That's the down block at the point of attack. It's our absolute best down blocker, and we want to go tackle over belly. I could count on one hand, fellas, one hand, the number of good belly plays we have run to a tight end. We don't do it. We don't do it. We've run belly to a tight end, but it is like literally half as successful as running at a tackle, because the tackle is a far superior down blocker, right? I mean, you're talking about the difference of whoever your best tackle is. For us, being a wing T team, our tackles are bad dudes. Like, that's our big dude blocker. Best lineman, tackle. Not guards for us, tackle. Because we had to have them to down block when we wanted to go belly. So when we ran belly, always at tackle over. Always at tackle over. We don't run it at tight ends. I don't know how to be good at a tight end. If you got a tight end that is that good, man, then stop worrying about how to block belly. This tight end is that good. Block belly and then send him out for a pass. It's a bad dude. That's my opinion. I'm wrong a lot. Welcome, everybody. So glad to have you. It's open mic night. Anyone is welcome to hop on here and talk a little bit. You're welcome to bring up any idea you have, shoot a question, or have me challenge you or something, or you share something with us, or promote something you've been working on. Whatever you want, feel free. It is open mic night. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue to chat with you guys here in the chat, shoot out questions, thoughts, comments, and we'll go for a few minutes. You know, it's already been 20, maybe go 10, 20 more, and we'll shut it down, and then we'll head over to the other video, which is coming on at 9:15. So anyway, what do you guys think of the heavy weapon package? Heavy weapon was my package for my big linemen, senior linemen. Every senior lineman got that one carry in heavy weapon. Double tight, always unbalanced to the right, one man. Everybody blocks down left. Two big lineman fullbacks, right? Let them rotate. We all rotated. You rotated between linemen and the H-back fullbacks. Everybody blocked down left. These first guy kicks out, second guy leads on. And then my tailback at 5 yards, tailback, big dude with a ball, come down, take a horrible handoff, and get what he could for us. I am still teaching. I teach junior high intervention right now. I'm an art teacher by trade. I'm actually working on trying to get certified to teach Spanish though too. I honestly think Spanish is my favorite thing to teach. I taught some junior high Spanish back in the day. I was considered highly qualified. I don't think they use that anymore. That's not valid. But I taught some junior high Spanish, really enjoyed it. So I'm looking hard at getting certified to teach Spanish. I think I would really enjoy it. I have a passion for Spanish. I don't really have a passion for art. I have a passion for being in a school. I love being a part of a school. And the art building, the art room is a great atmosphere. So I love it for that. But as far as like art, like express yourself, and I mean, it's just not me at all. Which honestly is why I ended up getting out of teaching art. I was like, man, come on. I was in a really artsy building. And I was like, listen, you guys, this isn't me. Like, I think I can be a really healthy part of this building. This isn't me. And I really wanted to come work on Chief Pigskin. So this is where we landed. Yes, Dad says teach Spanish. Good idea. Thank you, Dad. I do. I want to. I'm working on it like crazy. I've been practicing like crazy and learning as much as I can. I even applied to Oregon State University, has an online program. I applied, got accepted to start some online classes through Oregon State. Well, welcome everybody. It is open mic night. We're 20 minutes in on open mic night. I just sit here and talk with everybody. We talk football, throw out any questions. Also throw the link here to our Zoom meeting. I throw that in the chat. And if you would ever like to hop on, you guys, hop on. Has everybody seen the link? I've been posting it, but maybe it's not showing up. Okay. Oh, Campos, your degree is in Spanish? If anybody has anything they want to talk about or promote, we'd love to get you on here for our open mic night. You get about 5 minutes on here. We talk and shoot the breeze for 5 minutes, and then we'll let the next guy on if he wants to come on. But anyway, next topic. Who's got the next topic for us to talk? I'm just checking our Twitter right here. You know, I really appreciate that. Yeah, Campos is a Spanish teacher. Really appreciate that belly question, man. You know, I don't talk the wing T, or I don't talk my offense very much at all right now. So the second I start talking it, I actually get pretty excited pretty quickly. On my staff, they let me help a lot defensively, and they kind of let me talk more defensively. It's not that they don't let me talk offensively, but you can tell when we're talking offense, they just see me as a wing T guy that can't help them. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I mean, honestly, they see me as a wing T guy. Like, how could I help? And I'm sure it's not entirely like that, but there's a little bit of that vibe. Like, oh yeah, you're a wing T guy. You can't really help us offensively because we're spread. So I get a little bit of that. And but defensively is more so where they let me talk a little bit. So I got 2 questions coming in. What's your favorite Chief Pigskin video? How do you know when you're done? Meaning like done coaching, Gardner, or done? Be a little bit more. Tell me more about that question. I'm trying to be a history teacher. You're at ASU. That's awesome, man. History is a great thing to get into. The PE can be tough because jobs can be hard to come by in PE. I chose art, which was, as far as looking for jobs goes, dumb idea. But I was 19 and full of dumb ideas at the age of 19. Just ask my dad. Favorite Chief Pigskin video? Dude, that's gotta be impossible to choose favorite. Man, there's been some good ones. Man, has there been some good ones. I love listening to Jim McKee. There's a tackling and turnover data one by Jake Gilbert out of Indiana. And that's on our store, actually. That one's incredible. Nick Pelham's 3 video series are incredible. Incredible on his 3-4. So good. Really liked Brad Birchfield's videos. He did one on short yard offense. He's out of Bishop Hartley, Ohio. It's in Columbus, Catholic school in Columbus. One on short yardage offense, one on why the best are the best. These guys are unbelievable. The things that we have on there are, it'll blow your mind, I'm telling you. So that like are some of the ones that come to my mind. Of course, every video by me is my favorite. How do you know when you're done? Like the selling your team video. Oh, is that the one by Pasolano? Dude, the one by Pasolano is phenomenal. The things I've picked up where it's like promoting your team and empowering your staff. Dude, Pasolano does such a great job. You would talk like a mild-mannered dude that did an incredible job at a place that was hard to win, and they won. And he talks all about player retention. It's such a specific plan. Love his player retention video. Great call on that one, Ramiro. Great call. How do you know when you're done coaching? No, you're 100% right, Gardner. Not sure all the sacrifices you and your family are making are worth it. Absolutely. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. But listen, and this is what I tell people. If you could bottle up that feeling that you get, that feeling, Gardner, when your kid caught that bomb, if that feeling were bottleable, it would sell for millions of dollars. You have sacrificed a lot of money so that you could live that feeling. That feeling is so special. And that for me is why I will continue. I'll make it work as long as I can. As long as I possibly can. Now listen, if I had to give it up because whatever happened and my family had to have more money out of me, I could give that up to go do that for my family. But there's a lot I'm willing to give up for that rush. Because, my Xbox, my PlayStation, I'm a PlayStation guy. I like PlayStation. But that rush that I get, if this is a real rush, the rush goes like this. It's nice. You're married for 20 years, being with your wife, a date night, little rush. All those things are like little. There's only one thing that gets you to that point. And that is working your rear end off and making a plan and strategizing and all those things to experience that high. And then you experience it, and it is the high amongst all highs. And it's addicting. Hey, of all addictions, this is the best addiction to have. Addiction to that rush of a win. Freeman says, I really like the Chief Pigskin videos because they're mostly high school coaches. Feel like I get way more out of them than going to a Glazier clinic. Thanks for all you do. Hey, you bet, man. Thanks for that. One of the reasons, so this whole Chief Pigskin thing has been such a grind, and it's been going on for 10 years. But one of the things that keeps me doing it is that I look at it, I'm like, wait a second. Personally, as a coach, I use it so much. I'm going, what will I do without it? I mean, clearly I could still learn without it, but I'm like, I'm not going to learn at the same rate. I'm not going to. I'm not going to learn at the same rate when I'm out here hustling, trying to meet guys, trying to set up schedules. And so, yeah, man, it's so good for me. Speaking of regular old dudes, just regular old dudes coaching, which is who Chief Pigskin is full of. One of my other favorite regular old dudes that's spoken for us, Jake Palmer, out of Fisher, high school of 200 kids. Love his mic'd up practice. Coach Pomazak, St. Charles North. Have you guys watched his mic'd up practice on the clinic? His mic'd up practice is probably the best. And it's the best because I had myself and my wife with me, and she's a professional photographer. So we got the best quality video that day. So the video itself was great. It was a great video. We just did a great job. So it helps when I get to have my wife around to help me once in a while. We can kick out some pretty great. How do you feel about blitzing wing T teams? I don't do it very much. I think that's a good idea, Vin. I don't think it's a good idea to blitz wing T teams. I think you're just guessing, because that's what I always wonder. Like, that's my problem with blitzing in general is I go, I'm just guessing. Like, I don't want to just run in there. I don't know where you're going. And if I just run in there, I'm just running at where you used to be. And when I keep thinking about that, I'm like, how does this make sense ever at all to blitz? I don't know where you're going. So how do I blitz? I'm just going to start running at where you're snapping the ball? Well, the ball's not staying there. Now, if I get lucky and you are throwing the ball, okay, awesome. But if you're not, what am I doing? Now, I don't blitz wing T teams, per se, but I don't mind bringing hell at that tight end. So that's kind of a blitzish. But I'm not really trying to get in there per se. I'm trying to run right at that tight end. I'm trying to make that down block near impossible. Switch apps without pausing your music. Coach Freeman, so Owatonna, I had Owatonna booked, and then you guys flipped football and got it back. And so we agreed that we will hit them up after season. So I'm heading to Owatonna after season. Got them in the books though. They are coming. But I was going to be going to Owatonna. Actually, this weekend would have been my weekend going to Owatonna, Minnesota. And because Minnesota got football back, we had to push it. So we're going to push that. Also got Chatham Glenwood out of Illinois, who had an incredible season last year. I got them booked. We're hitting them in January. So I'm starting to book already the winter stuff. So, hey, if you guys want a visit, shoot us a DM on Twitter at TheChiefPigskin. Shoot us a DM. Let us know you'd want to visit. Or if you want to have somebody to recommend, or you got a contact to somebody that we need to visit, let us know. I'm starting to put that off-season schedule now. Blitzing is about causing pressure and changing paths. It is. And, you know, when we talked to that tackling thing, I liked hearing Digatano say, did you change his shape or did you change his path? Like, you have to do one of the two. Change his shape or change his path. You're right, change his path. And that is the only place against Wing T that I don't mind blitzing, Ben, to answer your question, is at that C gap of the tight end. Right there. Raise hell there. Because if you raise hell right at that point, that sweep play, power play, that edge widens. And they need that edge to collapse. I need that edge to collapse. That's the place where you're going to give me the most amount of fits. I have the least amount of easy fixes for your blitzes there. You're going to blitz anywhere else, we've got fixes, right? I'm not going to say like we can handle it. I mean, you'll run into us. You'll make us lose some yards from time to time. But I feel like for every play you make us lose yards, there's probably going to be a play where we pop one because you sent, right? Like, unless it's right there, that's the only spot. Because my only fix, if you keep raising hell right at tight end, my only fix is to not run there. And at the end, isn't that really what you want? You don't want them to run there. That's their best play. And for me, being a wing T guy, I'm like, I want to run buck sweep badly, and you just took that away? Ugh. That's tough. That's tough. Now, we'll add this, though, Ben. I've been working hard at a fix for that. So I've got a couple things that we've been working on, and we got ready to go, okay, should we see this? We can't just go, oh, dang, that's the one thing that gives us fits. I guess we're done. I can't do that, right? I got to keep going. Well, we got a lot of guys in the house, man. This is open mic night. Anyone and everyone is welcome to hop on, and we'll get you on for 5 minutes. We'll talk whatever you want to talk about, or even just introduce you. Maybe you've been wanting to get your name out there and not be afraid to talk in front of other people. I get it. It can be hard talking in front of other people. But if you want to hop on, just hop on here in the chat. Anyone is welcome to do so. Otherwise, at least let us know where you're watching from. Check in here in the chat. Say hi. Tell us where you coach if you haven't checked in before. So far tonight, we've talked Belly G and how I would block Belly G against 3-5. We talked about the fact that I never run Belly G at a tight end, only at a tackle over. Only. We talked about, what else did we talk about, fellas? The best videos on Chief Pigskin, which that's a long list. They just keep going. Talked about teaching Spanish. Talked about Ramiro Martin, who's studying to teach history. So on and so forth. And then Coach Gardner, we were talking about how do you know when you're done? Yeah, and is it worth it? We talked, is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. Unless your family needs the money. Then it's not worth it, and you got to go do something else. But if your family doesn't need the money, then yes, it's worth it. Because I'm telling you, man, you could get another job and make an extra 12 to 20 grand a year if you weren't coaching football. But I would say, as long as your bills are paid right now, what are you going to do with that 12 to 15 grand? That is better than winning a football game. I mean, listen, like, I want a boat bad. I want a boat bad. Remember I said about those thrills? Like, a boat can get me to here, but only a football game can get me there. It's the only thing that can get me there one night a week. Or, let's face it, get me, those low lows where it ruins your whole weekend. But that's living, man. Those highs and lows are what living is. Man, who's got another topic? We've already been going for 40 minutes. I'm amazed that I can just hog a mic for 40 minutes. If anybody has any thoughts, questions, quick topics to buzz on, I definitely got an opinion on every topic. Trying to get, we do have football practice tomorrow. We do a lot of rolling in our cover three. So like we'll roll strong where our corner sits and our safety tries to get deep third over our corner, right? So I'd never done that before I came here to Unity. We do a lot of that, especially against like 3x1. That's really our 3x1 fix. So Campos, you were saying what to do against trips. For us at Unity, that's what we do. Our coach really loves it, man. We're going to sit the corner. He's going to play an extra flat. The Sam now doesn't have to play flat. He sits right there hard in that hook curl. And then our safety rolls over the top of it, right? Now you're weaker to the weak side, but you're stronger to the 3x, right? So what's this team like to do? Is it worth it? And that's what you can decide then on Sunday game plan. We got a guest coming in, excited to have a guest, and a name that I don't know. So let's meet Brian.
Hello.
Brian,
can you hear me?
Well, I recognize this voice. Have we talked before?
Yeah, you have. I called on the 5-3 earlier, March or something. I'm trying to get, if you can hang on a second, I'm trying to turn off your stream.
Oh yeah, so we don't get that reverb, that the sound coming back. Well, welcome, Brian. I appreciate you hopping on here for open mic night. We were talking 3-5, and where are you from, Brian?
I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
That's right. You're from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and are you coaching right now?
No, unfortunately, because of the whole COVID thing, I was a volunteer, and that's one of the things that caused me to jump in is that you were talking about, getting into coaching and whether or not, what keeps you going. I quit my job to get back into teaching with full intentions of getting into coaching. And now I just kind of feel like I'm at a standstill, really.
Yeah.
And so
now are you back in teaching yet?
No, if they're not going to let me coach, I'm in no hurry to get back into the classroom if it's that dangerous, but I did have a line on a couple of full-time sub jobs and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm just really feeling the need. I constantly watch football videos. I'm suffering. Of course, I'm up here in Michigan. That means Lions fans. So I'm doubly suffering. But it's, I still remember one time when I was coaching, I used to coach at West Catholic, and one of the kids, we were just running our 20 plays at the end of practice, and I was just having the time of my life, and one of the kids just seen me sitting there smiling. He's like, "Are you having fun, Coach?" I'm like, "Yeah." I can't think of anything else I'd rather be,
Yeah.
And so, but I guess what I'm here to say, if somebody thinks that they're done with coaching, and maybe it's just you're not feeling it, that doesn't mean that you have to be done forever. I mean, I thought I was done and I thought I could deal with it, but once I hit 50, I just have to get back into it. I can't explain why.
No, I totally understand, Coach. And you know what? And Coach Gardner in the chat here too, and Brian, what you're going through, and I'm going through something similar too, where I am coaching. I love to coach. I'm in a situation where I don't have very much responsibility, and so there's the fleshly side of me. The I want, like, hey, I want to do more. I want to do more. I want more control. I want more. And the truth is, it's like, I do think that's going to come. I do think it's going to come for me. I really think it's going to come for Coach Gardner in the chat, because I know Coach Gardner well. And when we look back, and sometimes it's so hard. I remember being a 29-year-old coach, a 28-year-old coach, just dying to get my shot, right? And just couldn't wait. It was like, it took 2 years, it took 3 years, it took 4. And at the end of the day, we're going to all look back on these little seasons of waiting and realize that they weren't as long as we thought they were, and that our time is coming, right? And it's like, because again, so many programs need good coaches. It's just a matter of finding them and doing things like this, putting yourself out here, Brian, right? And talking, and that people are going to find you. They're going to find how to, they want good coaches, and it's about getting matched up with a good dude and getting in a program and being able to help. Being able to help kids be pretty good at the game, because it's so rewarding. There's nothing else that rewards like this.
Oh, I know. And that's one of the things that I guess I'm just here to tell people is that, boy, how shall I say this? When I was younger, I started coaching in high schools when I was, I think, around 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. And I had an opportunity to coach for one of the better football coaches that we have up here. A guy's name was Jack Verdine. And, so I went to school. I just, I absorbed everything that he did. And I guess from hearing you talk, you have kind of like the same type of situation, an opportunity to just, take a look at his entire thing and what your guy is doing, and, but it wouldn't be so difficult, I think, if I were able to be out with just the kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just, kids need help. I mean, kids, it's very difficult to grow up. There's a lot of things psychologically kids are going through. Besides hormones, there's just a lot of, it's just difficult. And, so it feels good to be on something like that. So.
Oh, absolutely, Coach. Man, I appreciate you hopping on and chatting with us a little bit.
Yeah.
And keep us posted. Keep us posted where you end up landing to coach.
Yeah, probably not going to be till next year now, but hey.
Yeah. But again, it might be a couple extra things you can pick up in the meantime until that time comes.
Yeah. And I just want to say, you guys jump on. It'll be fun, and it isn't going to kill you. So.
Amen to that, Brian. I appreciate you, Brian. You take care, man.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Appreciate Brian. Brian and I had a really long conversation this summer about defense in general, right? He was talking 3-5, and we talked about my 3-5 son. We talked about 3-5 principles, and he was putting in for some jobs. You know how it is, man. You know how off season can be, like preparing for like a certain job interview and a big job. Coach Gardner's out there in Park City. I can't even imagine, man. Even your burgers got to cost more out there in Park City. Everything's got to cost more. I'm going to leave the link in the chat here again. The last 2 weeks we had a ton of guys that wanted to hop on tonight. Appreciate Coach. Coach, I don't know how to say your last name. Was it Chivas? But appreciate you, Brian, for hopping on. Hey, we got about 10 minutes left here tonight in our open mic. So if anybody else has anything else, otherwise, shoot, keep chatting it up in the chat. Keep picking Coach Gardner's brain, picking Coach Campos's brain. Freeman, who calls the defense at your school? Who calls the defense at you guys' school? And Cody G, what do you guys run at your school offensively? Is it have an identity? Ramiro Martin, you still around? Are you coaching some youth ball this year or getting on with a high school? When I was in college, I had 1 year left, and I wrestled for 4 years. And I had an extra semester because, I was lazy and I didn't get all the credits that I needed. So here I was in my extra semester, my 5th year. My wrestling eligibility was up. So I proceeded to email, I'll bet you I emailed 50 schools. Now you're in the greater Chicagoland suburbs. It's not hard to get to 50 schools. So emailed 50 schools looking for a wrestling coach. And I heard back from one. And the one guy, Jeff Young, from St. Charles North High School said, hey, we could use a freshman volunteer coach. And I said, deal. And I drove my butt out there that whole year to coach freshman football. Ramiro Martin's hopping in, excited to meet a new coach. This is going to be fun. Last call for anybody who wants to hop on. We got a little bit of time for Ramiro and maybe one more, and then we'll call it a night. Love his option game. Who's he talking about? Who's option game? Defensive coordinator Adam Newbarth, really good 4-4 guy. Coach Martin, how are you?
I'm doing good, Coach. How are you?
Really good. Great to meet you. Appreciate you joining us the last several nights or over the last couple weeks when you can.
Well, of course, yeah. Every Tuesday I have days off, so I try to get on.
So tell us about yourself. What are you doing with your as you're looking into coaching?
Well, right now, like I said in the chat, I'm at ASU trying to be a history teacher. I coach at a very small school called Arizona Campus Prep.
Okay.
The season got canceled, so we're hoping for possibly January. We're not sure yet, but it is 8-man, and I'm on my second year.
Okay, so you just hopped on with a local school. Now, did you by chance go to that school or anything, or how did you know someone there?
So I work at a pretty famous restaurant that we have here in Chandler, and the coach just walked in. I've been wanting to coach at that point for over a year, and he just walked in and he had a shirt. I was like, let me just ask, and then luckily he needed people to volunteer.
There you go. See, that's how you do it. He just like, that guy's wearing a football shirt. I need to ask.
Right, yeah.
Now, what do you do for them?
So right now I do offensive line and defensive line, but a little bit of special teams too. So I do a couple things.
And did you grow up in the area?
Yes, I've been in Chandler my whole life. I went to school at ACP. It's not the same school, but I played both sides of the ball and kicker.
Okay. And so then you're going to be a teacher. How many years you got left?
So I'm a junior right now. So year and a half.
Yeah. And when your time comes, are you hoping to stay right in that area teaching, or you got your eye on some other place, location in the country?
Well, I'm going to stay in Arizona. Just my scholarship makes me stay in Arizona for a couple years.
Okay.
You know, as long as I get the opportunity to teach the kids and hopefully the football's involved, then that's what I'll take.
Yeah. Well, good for you, man. I'm excited for you. I love having a young pup in the house who's like just getting rolling, and just kind of seeing where you're taking it. And here's the thing, you are already light years ahead of where I was when I was coming out. I was so clueless, man. I was not studying. I didn't, and as a matter of fact, I knew I was going to coach 100%, but I was so full of myself that I wasn't studying anything. I was like that guy. I was like, okay, I'm here now. Can I teach you guys how to do football now? Right? That was me. I was so ashamed of myself at this point. It wasn't until I had been coaching 3 or 4 years, got under a coach named Todd Winter, and I became his defensive coordinator. Not out of any merit of mine. I had been around for a little while, right? And I was like the next man up, and I got the job as opportunity. And boy, did he whip me into shape. It was like this great awakening, like, whoa, oh, this is football. This is studying. This is preparation. Dude, I mean, it was like he grabbed me, and he didn't literally, but this is what it was like working for him. Grabbed me and shook me. Oh, quit being a little kid. This is a profession, right? Does that make any sense? I mean, I was such a little kid. He woke me up, man, and got me paying attention. So that was me finally at 27, even though I'd been coaching for 4 years, but I really say my coaching start was at the age of 27. That's when I started to pay attention and learn. Who are some of your influences right now, Ramiro?
So right now who I played for. His name is Byron Bluford. So recently he was the special teams coach for Team USA for high school. I have him who I look up to, and this is the coaches I work with now. Really, I had the same issue that you had for the first couple of practices, where the coach sat me and was like, well, what I want you to do is realize that the kids aren't at your level, that we have to teach it in a different way. And that was my main issue, trying to teach a super complicated thing when I had to teach, for instance, your stance, and I went too into detail, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You know where I struggled with that the most in my young coaching career was in the world of wrestling. I wanted to teach like all the fanciest fancy, and finally got under a coach that said, yo, can we just stick to the basics? Right? And that same thing applies to the world of football. Like, whoa, we got to just, number one, you can only teach so much because you need everybody on the same page, right? Even in the world of wrestling, everybody really has the freedom to wrestle a little differently. But in the world of football, man, you don't have any of that freedom.
Not really.
Well, Coach Ramiro, what else is on your mind before our time here comes to an end?
I was just on here just to get my name out there, really, just so people know who I am.
That's awesome, man. So happy to have you. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, yes, I am.
What's your Twitter? I'm gonna go look you up and give you a shout out.
It's Cardinal 74 or 74 Cardinals. Sorry.
So at
74 Cardinals. But it's not.
74 Cardinals.
I believe I do follow Chief Piskin and you.
Okay. At 74 Cardinals. Coach Martin 74. Is that what it says?
Yeah, it should be a picture of it. It looks like a dragon. Yeah, that's me.
This is you. Fellas,
Yeah.
Go follow Coach Martin. Give him some love for hopping on, showing his face to the world, and starting. Hey, you've officially spoken in the football world for the first time. Congratulations. Confetti. I wish I could drop the confetti. You're officially in, man. I really appreciate you hopping on. I'm following you there. When I get off, I'm going to go follow you from my personal account. Dude, hope to hear from you again in another open mic.
Of course, I'll try to be back on. I appreciate you.
All right, Coach Martin. Take care, man. Your winter is about to be way better than mine.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, guys in the chat, we are finishing up. We appreciate you guys stopping in. Glad you guys could have some fun chatting with each other down there. Ben Johnson in the house. Johnson, how's the season going now? I know it's been a couple weeks since we heard from you. Would love to hear how your squad's doing now. McCain S, 19-year-old football coach. Anyone else in the chat run a 4.4, 4.25? We're a 4.25 right now at our program. I've been a 3.3 guy for like 10 years before I came to this new program, but now an assistant, and we're a 4.25. Really, we're more like, we're a little hard to explain. We're a little more 4.4 than we are 4.25. But we're not truly a 4.4, and we're not truly a 4.25. But we're a little more 4.4-ish. All right, man. Well, fellas, I had a blast tonight. If anybody else has any closing thoughts or any last-minute questions, throw them there in the chat. Following this video at 9:15 on the Chief Pigskin channel, if you want to have a tab open to help out Gonzalez and Mac, I know they would really appreciate it. Their show, Coach to Coach, where they get all sorts of questions from the coaching world, from all over the world. Honestly, like coaches from Ireland, they're getting questions from. And they're two head football coaches, one out of Chicagoland, one out of California. And they just sit and talk ball. Just the two of them talking ball, answering these questions that are coming in from all over the world, talking football. And they jump sides. One question will be defense, next question's offense, next question's wing T, next question's air raid. So it's all over the place, but a couple great guys. Happy to have them on the Chief Pigskin team. Ben Johnson's team's 4-3 now. They had a tough start because they played such a tough schedule. Won 4 straight after losing the first 3. Coach, of the first 3 you lost to, which team is the best in your opinion? Which team was the best team you've played yet? Very curious to know. Just because I've been following football in that area more often, because I'm getting to know more and more guys in that area. From you, Coach Johnson, to Coach Coltis at Evansville Central, to Nick Hart at Gibson Southern. So really just getting to know a lot more guys. A lot more guys. Campos, what offense do you guys run down there at Carbondale? Yeah, okay. So he says Evansville Central's probably the best right now. Yeah. He had said this summer when didn't know what was going to happen. I remember him texting me just saying, dude, we are so talented. We just want to play so bad. So it sounds like that's what's happening. They're just a load. Very talented. And like I said, that's what he was saying this summer. Just, dude, we are loaded. We want to play so bad. We're loaded. We're loaded. And he went to the Wing T this year. So you guys are Tony Franklin. I need to get some guys on here and talk some Tony Franklin. Campos, hook us up with your OC. Who's your OC? Would he want to come on? We talk some Tony Franklin stuff. I might try to get on. You know who else I like from Southern Illinois boy, who has some Tony Franklin experience? Coach Kerry Martin. I like that dude a lot. Great dude, and I know it's probably a big rivalry for you guys. But Kerry Martin out of Marion, Illinois. They're a unique program. They were like full-fledged Franklin, and now they're kind of like half Franklin, half single wing-ish. Now again, we played them 4 years ago, so things easily could change since then, obviously. But that's what they've been. We just beat them for the conference championship. Yeah. So you two are like the cream of the crop in that Southern Conference right now. That's that. So yeah, he's probably a rival of yours. Well, Campos, let us know if your OC, he's been single wing since Carterville days. Okay. So they're a little bit more single wingish. You know, actually playing them in my the videos that I made of R35 is like started off defending them. Here's defending power. Like that gun, double tight, sniffer back, your single wing-esque power. Here's how we're going to defend that, right? You got to have it. You got to know with your system, you got to say, how are we going to defend double tight wing T? Because even if you don't end up seeing double tight wing T, still gives you your answer to the one tight inside. You got to know how you're going to defend single wing. And you got to know how you're going to defend 10 personnel stuff, right? I mean, you have to know coming in, like, this is how we stop these things, right? Here's how we defend inside zone, right? Because mostly these things come in themes. This week, we're defending inside zone. This week, we're defending gap scheme. Counter tray like crazy. Power read like crazy, right? They always just come in these families. So you got to, here's how we defend this. Here's how we defend this. And hopefully there's a lot of continuity. So that's like, by the time you get to week 8, there's a lot of same as. Hey, this is same as week 4 and week 2 and week 1, fellas. Remember? Right? Everybody's with me, right? Can I get a collective head nod? Yep, that's right. It's the same as. It's tough. We break the stack and have a crazy alignment for that. Okay, send me your alignment for a single wing. How do you defend Marion? I'm curious to know how you guys defend Marion, that single wing stuff. All right, fellas. Well, it's been an hour. I'm going to sign off and pack it up and go home, watch a little baseball. Yes, ask the head coach and OC, see if somebody wants to come on, talk a little Tony Franklin with us. Tomorrow night, we're talking strength and conditioning with some strength and conditioning coaches, and that'll just be our half an hour live chat, followed by one of my favorite lifting program videos it's kind of a year-long program, and it's deeper than that. It's not really just about lifting. It's about organizing your program for the year round with Robert Pomazak out of St. Charles North. So that clinic video is going to play at the end. Good night, Brian. Thanks again for hopping on, fellas. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate all your support. You guys have been so good to me and supporting Chief Pigskin. Couldn't do without you. So thank you guys. Leave a like below. Subscribe if you're not. And we hope to see you guys tomorrow night.